Good morning, Ian Robinson here from Ian Robinson's Cabinetry and Joinery. Just a thought, I would just like to go through a little bit of carpentry and joinery with you and show you what I'm doing today. This is mainly for a client of mine. They want a kitchen revamp, so that's what I'm doing here. I'm replacing all their doors, drawers, side panels, plinths, cornices and pelmets, and also adding some cabinetry into the mix as well. With an overbox, they're going to buy a fridge that sets into my side framed cabinet with an overbox, and also beside that they'll have a nice larder cabinet which will have spice racks on the inside of the door. Also around the other side it's like a C-shaped kitchen, and then at the end of their C-shaped kitchen they have the end basically comes to an end, and they have tables and chairs there, like circular tables and chairs. But what we're going to replace that with is a nice breakfast bar with a cabinet and two doors coming inside that C shape. So it'll end up being more of a circular kitchen with a gap in between, so you can get everywhere. Basically, be a bit more organised is what I'm trying to get at. I've been doing cabinetry and joinery and carpentry all my life, basically, ever since I left school. So, yeah, I think I picked a good profession, personally. We're going to start off. The starting off process is basically ripping and cutting over length my pieces of wood that I need for the kitchen. I've got a piece of oak here, and that oak will be the drawer linings. We also have tulip. Popular name is tulip wood, however it comes as another name, and it's called poplar. It's great wood to paint, so that's what we're going to do with this. So at the moment I'm surface planing. I'm surfacing, as you can see, I'm surfacing one edge, so I'm putting that over planer. I'm then edging the other piece, so I'm getting a very nice dead square piece of wood on two sides. Once I've got that, I will then put this wood through the thicknesser. I will then get 4 perfectly square edges. So basically it'll be planed all round. Okay, so when you buy wood from your local merchants, it will be PAR, planed all round. So yes, so what we're going to do is surface plane this. Once we've surface planed it, we're going to then run it through the thicknesser. So I'm going to show you a little bit about the surfacing and how you get these edges accurate. One thing I use to make sure my fence is dead square, because this is important. This needs to be dead square to the bed of the planer, and I use what is commonly known as a roofing square, and it's a fixed square, so you know it's dead square, and I use that and I put that against the fence, and if there's any gaps in there at all, I can then adjust this fence to make sure everything is dead square with each other. That way I know that I'm getting my wood dead square as well, if that makes sense. I'm sure it does. As for the planer itself, this is a fantastic piece of kit. When Jet were available, which they're not now, Jet was a fantastic machine company. It's sad that they're not really producing anymore. I don't know why, but their quality was superb. It was really good, and the value for money was fantastic as well. I mean, this Jet machine here cost me £1,600 when it was new, and it's never failed me. It's been a fantastic piece of machinery that's just, it had done thousands upon thousands of hours worth of work for me, and I can't fault it. £1,600 brand new. However, that was about 10 years ago, and for saying that, 10 years ago, that's testament to a quality machine lasting that long and not failing on me. 12-inch bed wide, so you get anything up to 300mm. It does go up to about 310mm, but I wouldn't put anything more than 280, 290 on there, just for peace of mind that you're not going to go over the edge and not plane it, you know. Also has a good guard over here, which you should always keep down just enough for the bed, for the thickness of the wood, which it is. So when you're going this wood through, there shouldn't be any gap that you can get your fingers under. You should never ever, just a little bit of safety here, you should never ever have that up or that out like this. You should know properly how to use these guards. If you've got it set up like this, that's bad news, really bad news. Especially if you've just changed the blades as well, because the blades on these old machines, they're not terser blades where they slot in. These are standard normal blades that have been around for years, and they can, and I have seen it, they can slip out of their holding. No matter how tight you put that, they can slip out of their holding, and that is pretty deadly. And I have seen it, and it's gone down the machine, thankfully, and I was next to it. So it can happen, and I have seen it. So there's you've got to be very safe. And thankfully, the metal guard was over the top, so the only place that blade went was straight down into the machine. You should always have the guard to the correct height of what your wood is, so you bring that down, so you can only just fit the wood under, okay? And also, when you're going this way, so you're getting your second edge dead square, you should always bring that just enough for that to pass through. So therefore, you have no gaps there to get your fingers on or in, okay? And that's quite important. So, first case scenario is you're going through this way anyway. This one's planed. I'm going to show you. I'm going to turn this machine on. This is the Jet. It's a fantastic piece of kit, as I said, and I'm just checking what I've done and what I haven't done now. So anyway, we're going to start, okay? The good thing about these is you can't hear much. However, there's a bad point about them as well. You can't hear the machines that you've actually got running very well. Now, I must put the extraction on first. So the extraction's on now. And now, put these on and start our machine. One more thing before I start is, I'm sure you can see that's cut, okay? When planing a piece of wood, and it might sound simple to some people, but when you're planing a piece of wood, always make sure that your cut piece is down on the bed of the planer surface. Also, if it's cut that way, make sure that that's the same way again, because what I tend to do, and this is my format of planing, I always give an extra 100mm extra on the wood when I cut it roughly to length. I never cut my wood to length straight away. I always give it 100mm more than I need. So I plane it, and then I will cut it to length after I've planed it. Well, the fact is, your planer can dip, so it will dip and it will wreck the end of your wood. So if you've got 100mm left spare, then you're not going to ruin your wood. So that's one of the reasons. Secondly, if it is cut slightly, you can take that cup out at the end and end up with a thinner piece than you want. Okay, but if you cupped it both ends, if you've planed it both ends and it's thinner at both ends, it will be thicker in the middle. So you can actually cut off both ends 50mm, and hopefully you'll have enough spare, won't you? to enough thickness to actually thickness it through the thicknesser. Does that make sense? It does? So that's the reason I cut my pieces of wood over length. Right. So cut side down. Okay. And you can feel the wood as well. It's sort of solid on the plane a bit. If I was to do it the other way, it would drop. It possibly it is rocking. Okay, so you don't want that. Nice and solid. So you know there are points of that wood touching onto the plane. What I'm looking for as well is which way the grain is growing and which way the grain is going. And if I want the grain to go that way, if I'm shooting it through this way, because the planer blades are physically going that way and cutting. So I don't want to go against the grain at all. Okay, so you'll notice going with the grain you get a dead smooth finish. Okay, it's really smooth. And another thing I like about this particular planer is the fact that it's got 3 blades on it. So the more blades you get on a planer, the finer and smoother you're going to get your wood. You won't have so many ridges or planer ridges in your wood that you're going to have to sand out. I'm not saying that you don't have to sand this out, because you will, but you'll notice that that is really nice and smooth. It's a lovely finish, and that edge as well, lovely finish, because I've gone with the grain. If I was to go against the grain, that would pluck the wood, especially oak, and then pluck the wood, and you'd have lots of divots and plucks in the wood, which would look awful, and you'd have to, you know, replane it after your mistake of not looking at the wood, basically. So, just playing this piece of wood wrong way, okay, on purpose, because I wanted to show you what you get when you plane it the wrong way. In other words, you're going against the grain. So see all these, I'd like to think you can see all these little chips up here, all around here. I know there's a knot here, and you know the chances are you might chip it either way, whatever way you go, but this is definitely going against the grain. Okay, so it gives you an idea, and I'm just going to plane this piece of wood just to show you that I'm not just messing about and it's a bad piece of wood. It is a fact that that is going against the grain. So now I know that, and turn around and go the right way, and we'll see the difference instantly. Right, there you go. Plane the correct way, okay? I know I've got that knot to plane out, that's fine, that's not an issue. But just showing you, you know, that is dead smooth, dead right, and how it should be. That is planing with the grain. That's it, basically, that's what you do. Okay? So always look at your wood, look at the way the grain's going. Sometimes really not, it's quite difficult to see which way the grain's going. But you'll soon find out on your first pass. Your first pass will tell you whether you're going the right way or not. Planing now. So next is thicknessing the wood to the correct thickness. Now for me, I want 22 millimeters in thickness. So that is what I'm going to achieve with these pieces of wood. So all of these door frames, plinths, cornices, helmets, all want to be 22mm thick. So the way to do that is back on this machine, and what we're going to do is unlock it, lift the lid, which is quite heavy because it's nice stone with a cast iron, and then we pull this hood over so it's basically covering the blades, which is not a bad thing. That feels a bit uncomfortable seeing that open like that. And then we're going to just tuck that out of the way, and that's fine like that. And it's all locked off, ready to go, and we are ready to thickness. However, unclip it. We want to be 22mm. However, some of that wood was planed, and it was planed at around about 28mm. So I'm going to go around about 27mm and pass the first one through and see how that reacts to the planing. Because you don't want to take any more than, really, you don't want to take any more than a mil, 1mm, 2mm max, absolute max 2mm off the wood itself. Really, you want to start planing it through at 1mm if you can, and then work your way down to, or work your way up with the table to 22mm. So we'll see how this works first. So glasses on, nice digital gauge here, because this is always great actually, the digital gauge, because you can see, you know, especially if your eyes are terrible like mine, you can physically see the millimeters and what you're taking off, and that is spot on basically. So you can't really go far wrong with that. Whereas a tape is a bit, in my eyes, a tape is a little bit vague, whereas this is bang on, being digital. And I'm surprised actually the amount of machinists I don't see with one of them. I'm surprised, because I've worked in places where they just don't use them. They use their tape, and I kind of think, you know, depending on how your eyes are, that can be quite inaccurate using a tape. You know, but this is foolproof really. You've got your digital reading there, and that's it, end of. You can't go wrong. So this one's quite chunky. This is one of the chunkier ones. So we can always have a look at that and see how thick that is, instead of guessing. So we'll just measure that. Yeah, and that's stating 27.39 millimeters, and I've already put it up to 27. So if I come down to 26, then a bit of luck, that should work nicely. So I'm taking 1mm off. So that's the way to find out where we should go on our gauge here. Okay? In with the wood. There we have it. So that is how you use the jet planer thicknesser. So this particular jet is the JPT 310, and that is how you use that. So it's a very good machine. Rarely does it break down, other than belts, of course, and belts are easy to get to on the side panel. So it's a lovely machine. It has 3 blades, and as you can see, produces a real nice quality of finish on your wood. So thank you very much for watching, and you know, lovely old job.